We're doing a walk around of the Tacoma. You've seen this in a few other videos, little write-ups on it. When we first got it, the skid plate being packed with mud, had the black wheels on it at the time. It's been in a few random videos where Brandon was working on all the lights, the electrical system, all kinds of little stuff. But we've never really done a walk around on it. And I think it's time. So I had a CJ7, 350, flat skid, 37s, coil springs, blah, blah, blah. Really, really capable. But it did not have air conditioning. And it was a trailer queen. I'm old now. I needed something with air conditioning. And I'm just not doing extreme trails. So, you know, it was sort of not fitting my needs anymore. So I went and hunted this down. It's a 95 Tacoma. It has the 3.4 liter V6 in it. It has a 5-speed. Has a Merlin setup in it, crawler. So it's 2 boxes in it, a 4.7 in front of a 2.7. Air locker in the back. It had an air locker in the front. The previous owner, I don't know, blew it up or broke it or it died or whatever the case. But it's open right now. I have a locker, a mechanical locker for it. I have not put in yet. Hence the skid plate being off. You can tell it's not on there. It is skid plated from the very front underneath the radiator all the way back to behind the transfer case. It's totally flat. Real nice setup. I just rebuilt the front end. If you look under there, there's some Eibach struts with some Bilstein coilovers. There were Donahue Racing coilovers on it. They needed a rebuild. The eyelets were blown out of the bottom, a couple other issues, and the turnaround on them was really, really slow. So I just bought these because I didn't want it down for 6 weeks or 2 months. While we were at it, with the help of Brandon and Kenny, who did more work than I did by far, we went through the front end. It has a new upper arm on the right. This wheel bearing's been replaced, the hub bearing unit. It's all one piece. Various pieces, tie rods, of course the coilovers, some other random stuff on the front end. So it's, you know, it's tight now, much better, and it sits taller. If you look in some of the old videos, it was down. It's another 1.5 inches taller now. And that was just the adjustment, I think, on those Donahue Racings. But let's get started. The front, obviously. It had some round driving lights on it when I got it. LED light bar. These were facing to the side, straighten those out. The winch was on there. Just went through everything. I've literally had the wiring apart several times and everything. We replaced relays, redid a whole lot of the wiring that was just sort of patched up, and you know, since gosh, whenever this was built originally. The interior, it has some mastercrafts that are hard to get into, but once you're in it, it's great. It's great on the trail. I've not had racing buckets and something in forever. I had a sand rail with a nice set in it, and I forgot how nice they were. They're wonderful. The doors, I know it seems something goofy, but the doors have all been apart. When we got this thing, the doors wouldn't open from the outside. It was a pain in the butt. You had to open up. This one you could open, you had to push it in, pull it up, took 2 hands and wiggle, and it would, you know, finally open. But it was a work. And then the passenger would not open at all from the outside. It was dead. So the doors have all been apart, got everything working. It's not 100% perfect, but they open consistently. Of course, new handles, played with the rods inside, get everything straightened out. Some adjustment here. Brandon flipped that over. He thought of that. He tried flipping it, and that helped a bunch. What else have we done inside? Big cleanup. This thing was dirty, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad now. I may vacuum the carpets at some point, or shampoo the carpets at some point, but it's ARB switches on the left. I swapped out. I got the radio working. Dead radio when I got it. Through the panel under here, the switch panel underneath the radio. That was a big help. Had everything out though. Pulled some wiring out that wasn't being used. There was a brake controller in here, right here. I'm not towing anything that's going to need a brake controller with this thing. I have a little off-road trailer that might get towed occasionally, but that's about it. It does have a Kenwood amp back there, but there's only 2 little 6-inch speakers in it, in the doors. That's it. Maybe someday I wouldn't mind throwing one of those little bass boxes under the seat. That'd be neato. But this one has a tilt, cruise control. The cruise does not work. I gotta work on that a little more. It has how many miles? 54,000. So it's been driven a little. But interior's working. Everything's. And there was some stuff not working. I'm thinking about that. Like this, had to relocate that. Brandon did that. It was down below, and you'd hit your knee on it all the time, and it'd cut you. It was no fun. But I fixed a lot of little stuff in here. It was just not maintained, so there's a lot of goofy little stuff that wasn't working on the interior. But we went through it all, got it all straightened out. This, I don't know who originally built it. I think it was a Toyota shop in Phoenix. I just don't know. If anyone knows, hey, message me or comment. I would love to find out more about it. I found a video on a run outside of a YouTube video. Nissan club run outside of Phoenix, and this was in it. That was all, though. That's the only thing I ever... And then I only knew that because there was a club sticker. If you can see, there's still remnants. I don't know if you can tell. I've been trying to clean them off, but there's a bunch of club run stickers on it, on both sides. I took them all off. They've been on there forever. But I looked up the one club on YouTube, and they had some videos of club runs. Boop, it was on there. So the front end though works great. Let's get on to the back. This still has the ARB air locker on it. Still works. I had to play with the lines. It was leaking quite a bit. Got them all tightened up. Working much better. More consistently. Not running all the time. The rear end is just a little Toyota V6. Of course, we have some Alcan springs. Some Bilsteins with reservoirs. A little rust on them. Ooh, poor shucks. And rear suspension works good. It's a little stiff. This bed really doesn't weigh much. You can tell it's just not loaded enough. They're a little, if I hit something really hard, like on a dirt road, they move. If you're just, hit it going slow, oh, they're sort of stiff. So I don't know. But I've never really loaded the bed with much. I'm sure if I did, it would smooth it out. But they do flex quite a bit. They're not bad. Of course, they're Alcans. They work really good. The flatbed. You can see it's integrated into the rocker protection. The tube connects. It's really well done. Whoever built this thing originally they were on it. Thing kicks butt. We had to replace a bunch of the rivets. The rivets were all broken. So I may pull this bed someday and put nut zerts in place of all these and see if that works a little better, because it's not bad, but it does rattle a little bit sometimes. Of course, the bed is welded on. It's welded onto the frame, and they even welded up, gusseted the leaf spring mounts. It's well done. There's a compressor in the toolbox. Let me open it up. You can see air connect on both sides. Air compressor There's the hose. You can air up your tires real easy, or whatever else. High lift mount. I help with some desert race organizations. So let me turn this on. So I added some lights up top. Of course, there's not really much when it comes to light back here if you're actually doing something in the bed. And it's not daytime, in the dark, so these lights help backing up. They real decent range. They're just Amazon $50 lights. But they also do this. Well, they're not, they're fairly bright. I mean, they're not bad at all. It's much better than nothing. Actually, no, they're not bad. Yeah, you can see them. And this is, you know, early morning. It is cloudy, but pretty bright out. And you can see them. But at night, they're not bad at all. But I wanted something to help it be seen in the dust and when I'm helping with the desert races. So that works pretty good. Of course, I have an integrated hitch. Some connecting points. The spares mounted to the floor. I think I may add a mount coming off of this. It goes on up. Maybe connect it here and here so it doesn't shake all over. So like if I'm camping or out for a few days, I can stand their spare up and utilize the bed for actually storage for tent and all that good stuff. But more of the same on this side. Yeah, and of course the shovel. You never use one, but I mean, what can it hurt to have one? And LED rear lights. It's set up really well. I've done a lot of work to it. Just going through it, getting everything straightened out and working correctly. I want it to be reliable. Then of course, oh, I forgot. Underneath, that's a traction bar. Let's see if you can see that. A traction bar coming off the rear end. So, you know, I don't think it would wheel hop, but it's definitely not going to now. I've taken it to Moab and the fender crunched. The tire came back into it and was flexed up and squished it. But, who cares? I may, you know, it's a black Tacoma fender. They're not hard to find. I may swap it out at some point. But that's the little Tacoma. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, I forgot one thing. I'll throw a picture up so you can see it. But so we have a flatbed, the little cage coming up, and it's a good idea. You got a cage and you got a loop up front. If you draw a line, you know, it'll stop the cab if I were to roll from completely collapsing. So I have some brain cells left. But this also has a little setup that bolts on here and here, a rack. It's pretty neat looking. You'll see it. I'll throw the picture up again, like I said. But it comes off, it goes on. If you're going out and if I want to overland, throw a bunch of stuff on, be out for days, I can do that. And nice little option to have. I barely use it, but it's there. Also, of course, the bottle opener. Probably the most important thing on the truck. Gotta have that. Any questions? Comment or message, and be happy to answer. Fun little truck. I'll keep you updated. Got some more plans for it. Throwing the locker in. And haven't really done many trail runs lately. I've been slacking. We'll take it out and have some fun with it. Oh, Patagonias. Yeah, they're on there. They came with it. There's a lot of tread left. I guess I'll run them for a while, but they suck. If you've run any better tire and put these on, you're just disappointed the whole time. They're, I don't know, they're cheap, but then they're cheap. So, anyway, talk to you later.